Right, we've got Ben from A1. What's it like performing in an A1 now compared to what it was like in the 90s, 2000s?
It's a lot more fun and a lot more relaxed because we were being kind of told what to do, I guess, by a record company and management back then. So we had a whole bunch of routines and stuff, and the set lists were done for us. But nowadays we can literally change it up whenever we want, really, during the gigs. If we decide to pop in a song that isn't actually on the set list, we can do that. If we don't fancy doing routines that day, we don't do the routines. We just really sort of cater every gig for the crowd, really, and just see what's going to go down the best.
I mean, the question I always like to ask is, you must find the dance routines harder these days now you're a little bit older.
Well, no, because I'm much stronger and better and less or more agile.
More agile.
I think.
That.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've definitely simplified them a little bit, because we were never really dancers. We never really enjoyed that part of it. We were more musicians attempting to dance. And attempt we dance we did. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, we weren't that good at dancing. But yeah, we more sort of prefer playing instruments and stuff.
And what are you guys most excited about the Boys Are Back tour?
I think it's going to be like a 2-month-long stag do. So I think it's just going to be a lot of fun, a lot of partying, a lot of we're going to see our fans from that era. Probably they'll bring along their kids and stuff, and it'll just be a good old nostalgia evening for everyone.
You get a whole new heap of fans as well, won't you, with their children?
Well, exactly, yeah.
And what can we expect from A1 on the tour?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. No. Obviously, we're going to be doing all of our biggest hits. Take On Me, Somewhere Running You, Caught in the Middle, Every Time, Like a Rose. Everything. Maybe even a new song, because we're just in the studio now writing and recording for our 6th studio album. So we might pop in a new one in there. But just going to be an amazing show. It's going to take everyone back to their youth and also show people what they've been missing out in these last few years, where we haven't been as active in the UK. We've been active everywhere else in the world, but not the UK, so finally we're getting to do it over here. And
will you be doing meet and greets with the fans at these tours?
Hopefully. It's quite a tight schedule. We're literally going from place to place every single night, so a lot of the venues we won't actually have time to meet anybody, but hopefully we can say hi at least stage door on the way in and the way out. And I know there are a couple of VIP tickets, I believe, that have been bought that you can meet us. So we'll obviously be doing them. But yeah, we've always really appreciated our fans and spend as much time as we possibly can with them. But yeah, sometimes it's just not possible.
And how would you say the music industry has changed since you released your first single?
Well, the music industry is completely different from when we released our first single, really. I mean, we didn't have anything like social media or streaming services or anything. You actually had to go into Woolworths or wherever it was, or Our Price, and buy Our Price, exactly,
Our Price, yeah.
And buy a CD. HMV and all those kind of stuff. I don't know if that exists anymore. Maybe it does.
It does a little. Yeah, some of it does, but a lot of the shops have closed now.
Have they? That's very sad.
It's all online now.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't own any CD. I don't own a single CD, so I can't blame anybody. But it's very, very different, and back then, I mean, we spent a lot of money on producers. Some people I even got £100,000 per track, which is crazy when you think about it, because we're all songwriters and producers now for other people, and that money, that kind of money anyway, isn't really about anymore, because people don't buy physical copies of CDs and they don't have the same kind of money, and you can do it yourself on a laptop.
And do you miss the excitement of thinking that you might be getting to number one? So, the midweek sales come out and you're nearly there and you can get the fans to go out and buy the singles, and you wait for that call on the Sunday. There just isn't that excitement anymore, I don't think.
I totally agree. I think it's very sad that doesn't exist anymore, actually, because there really was, when you released a single, there was like a time frame, and you knew that, the first week's sales was probably going to be the biggest week's sales. That was going to be your biggest charting position, and then hopefully, because of radio play and stuff like that, you could keep it up in the charts in the top 10 at least, or whatever, for a few weeks. And nowadays, I just released a song today, and you don't know how it's doing. People go, "How's it going?" You go, "I don't know. I think it's going well. Like the feedback's good," but you don't know, because it takes a long time for the streaming services to actually catch up on how many plays you've had. So you don't actually ever know how many people have been listening to your music until you get the checks through. And because it's streaming, they're so small, the checks now.
Oh, really?
Anyway, well, I'm very pleased, let's just say, that we were big when we were big, because you could actually make money just from the music.
And I suppose you'll still get royalties now, won't you, from...
Yeah, well, because we wrote all the songs apart
yeah.
from Take On Me, it's quite a nice thing to fall back on when, there have been years where we haven't been gigging as A1, we've been doing all our various different projects, but we still get, all the money through from the songwriting royalties and stuff, so that's a great thing.
Obviously, we've just touched on this. You're a songwriter and a producer now. What is it you look for in an artist, and what would make you download their tracks?
Well, I mean, what is it? Obviously, it's important to have good voice. I've worked with plenty of people that don't have very good voices and are actually doing quite well, which is pretty annoying.
Put a bit of reverb on it?
I don't. That doesn't save some people's vocals, unfortunately.
Name and shame. I
can't name and shame. It would be too shocking. But no, it's... I don't know. I mean, I think you can't really release albums these days. People do it on a track-by-track basis. And I think the only thing I dislike at the moment, although there's some very good songs out there, is that everything just sounds the same. You can listen to, I don't know what, and especially female artists for some reason at the moment. You could play me 6 different female artists with a sort of tropical house kind of beat, and you couldn't tell them one from the other. And I think that's a bit of a shame.
And would you like to record and produce movie soundtracks ever? I know you've done the theatre.
Yeah, well, I wrote a musical called Eugenius, and there's another one that I've written that's in the making right now, and that's been great. It's something very different.
That's with Joanne Clifton, isn't it?
I did the new one with Joanne Clifton. Yeah. I did Eugenius with a friend of mine called Chris, and I've done a lot of sort of adverts for people like Fat Face and Bowden and the big sort of brands
really?
Like that. So, but I haven't done movies yet, so that could be a good next move, really. But yeah, we'll see.
What movies would you like to be involved in, both as from a musician and an actor point of view?
From an actor point of view, I would like to be in something fun, like a good version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That would be good. The old version was mine. I didn't like the new one. No. The old one was absolutely amazing. The new one I didn't like at all. And I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say really what kind of movie. I'd quite like to be a character that is completely not like me at all. I think I'm always kind of cast, even when I've done the Flashdance musical and Rocky Horror and stuff like that, I always seem to be sort of cast in the sort of love interest hero type character.
Because of your boy band looks.
I know, but I'd quite like to be like a villain or a sort of someone that's really nasty, even if it's like someone that you wouldn't imagine's nasty, but he is.
But you're like a Wolf of Wall Street,
Exactly,
character.
Exactly. I'll just go into anything that Leonardo DiCaprio's done. That'll be fine.
Actually, that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's supposed to be really good.
Is it? Yeah, I'll go and watch that. No,
Margot Robbie used to live in Clapham as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Margot Robbie. Oh yes, Margot Robbie. Yeah, I was thinking about another girl called Margot that did a film called 9 Songs. Do you remember that? Completely naked in the cinema. So, no, never mind.
Must have missed that then.
Missed that one, yeah, I didn't.
So what's next for A1 as a band?
Well, we've just been in the studio writing and recording for our 6th studio album. We've just put out our... not just put out, we announced some of our first UK gigs as a 4-piece in many, many years, and they sold out within like 4 minutes, so that's happening at the end of the year. We've got a couple of other dates for A1 around at various different festivals this year, but next year is when we're really going to start focusing on A1. So obviously we've got the Boys Are Back tour, which is 2 solid months of touring, and then I guess it's promoting the album. And I think one of the nice things about A1 was that we were big in the UK and we did very well over here, but we did much better in lots of other places across the world. So places like Scandinavia and Europe and Asia and stuff like that, we're just planning our trips over there to take the new music and go back and see all of our amazing fans everywhere.
Right, that's great. Thanks for having a chat